Hello, hello, witam wszystkich, tutaj Piaro z tej strony, a my widzimy się w kolejnym odcinku. Ten to już będzie odcineczek planowany na następny dzień. Okej, to jedziemy. Szantaż Whitechapel. Dalej. Dobra. Mamy ulepszoną broń. Whitechapel. I teraz tutaj szukamy nowych rzeczy, nowych doznań. Ma. Raz. Granaty. Złapienie. Oj, oj. Jedzie. Czekamy. Unikać granatów. Szybki. O, kryjówka. O. Dobra, stół rzemieślniczy. Dobra. Tego już nie zrobię. Tego im brakuje. Potasu. Dobra.
I have this thirst for blood.
Dobra. Który do mnie strzela? O ty! Jemnijmy sobie. A, czyli tędy, dobrze. Dobrze. Moja taktyka! Pora na awansik. Coś za 300, tak? Wydajność krwi sobie podkręcimy znowu. Okej. Potwierdzamy. Oj. Oj. Jest anemia. Zmęczenie. Migrena. Bo sepsa, to mogę wyleczyć, no. Dobra. Na sepsę muszę robić lekarstwo.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Kurde, trafiłem. Oj, tutaj nie wchodziłem.
Touch me with your disgusting Get away from me! Don't touch me with your disgusting ass! What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir.
No,
You're safe now.
na razie.
A fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find
Aw.
safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Nie znam gościa.
You had better return to Whitechapel without delay. It will be safer there.
Safety isn't really an issue in Whitechapel, because you never are, never have been. The old place is falling to pieces. but thank you for the advice, sir.
Spokojnie, zajmiemy się tym. Gdzie ja wyjdę? A, tu. O nie, to wracam. Pomyliłem się. Teraz to wszystko, bo mam jakąś... Oj.
I have this thirst for blood.
Coś jeszcze było. Dobra, jeszcze questy wziąłem. Aha. Źle idę. To jest tak ciemne, że... Dobra.
More and more of these bloody leeches every night. Aye. The guards recruit more and more. Die! Get in weapons ready! We found one! God, no! Bloody leech! No! That's what you do with leeches.
Jedyneczka, leczenie. Ej!
Mine! I'll take it.
Okej.
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Nowa dzielnica.
Fuck you all! Fuck it all! Stop it now, Albert, stop it!
O nie.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
Coś ty narobił, chłopie.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets. Not me.
Are you all right?
The bastard at the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
O, mężczyzna, którego szukasz, nie żyje. Mam przy okazji. Mogę questa ci oddać.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Znasz ryzyko?
This note was found on a dead man, Albert. If that doesn't change your mind, then you must be ready to face the risks.
You're all fancy words, none of which concern me. Go worry about someone else. I'm fine and I have a future here.
Okej.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke
Właśnie.
Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
O, coś mi tu śmierdzi. Niemożliwe. Nikt się chyba nie przyzna. Osobiste pytania. Ukradłeś mu pigułki?
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything, it ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Goodbye, young man.
I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
Opowiedz o wojnie.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
To barbarzyńskie metody.
It's a pity that doctors still practice such barbaric methods. It's a dishonor to our profession.
Now only the pills stop me thinking about this shit. To not hear the explosions. I'm even scared of the dark these days.
Wow. Czemu strzeliłeś do chłopca?
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy just frayed me last nerve.
Powiedz mi o swoich kłopotach.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
A.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
Nie masz rodziny?
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben the Tramp.
Nie ma pan rodziny?
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
O, ale spróbujmy.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Oh.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lappy.
Metrów. 75 metrów. Musimy to znaleźć.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the swan.
O! A pani co?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
To co masz na
I'd like
sprzedaż?
to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
O! Ho, 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 ho. O, potasu! To mi się przyda. Nie mam już pieniędzy. Gdzie?
Its effectiveness has been proven. Good evening.
Osobiste pytania. Nie mam nic. Życie w Londynie, może coś tu. No.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
A. Czy powinienem się kogoś wystrzegać?
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Aha. Okej.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Ooh.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
No dobra.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
No jest. Zobaczmy.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Okej. Dobra. Szukamy kryjówy jakiejś, żeby... Zobaczmy, czy w ogóle się nagrywa. Tak, 38 minut nagrania. Wracamy do Vampyra i jedziemy dalej. Nie wejdę, co?
This is no place for you, sir.
Skąd wiesz? Ja ser. Ej! Co to muszę się podładować? Dobra, noc. Co to, T-pose?
He's mine! He's dead! Oh no! We have to stop it!
Przydałoby się ulepszyć broń. Keep out? Aha, czyli tędy już dalej nie pójdę. Co to? Kwarantanna. Aha. Okej. Okej. No to nie przejdę. Przydałoby się wytrzymałość. O, tu jeszcze coś jest. Jakoś wytrzymałość przydałoby się zwiększyć. Po tych dachach fajnie by chodzić. Oj. Teraz poziom. Trzeba się rozwinąć. Oj. Ale nie w ten sposób. Ach! Ej, ale! To ma znaczyć. Teraz ja. Jana. Co to ma być? Jakaś kryjowa by się przydała w Whitechapel, no nie? Wow, wilkoła. No jeszcze tego. Brakowało. O ty. O nie. Dobra, idziemy tu na górę. Ponieważ kryjówka gdzieś. O. Mam prawie 600. O nie, świecące oczy. Boss. Czekajmy. To jedziemy na wilkołaka. Silniejszy. O. Fagia? O ty! No mówię. Nie zdążyłem kliknąć. Ła. Silniejszy jesteś. 14 albo 16. Dziwne. Źle kliknąłem i źle uderzyłem. Jak się świecą oczy, to znaczy jest silniejszy. Miałem 400... Wiedziałem, no... Ciekawe gdzie. Dlaczego on tu? Nie. Serum. Ale kurna, dałem się. Poszła. Jest na wyższym levelu ode mnie. Ja stąd spadam. Muszę gdzieś się rozwinąć, bo to jest
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Okay.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Co
Right
masz?
then. Show me what you have.
O proszę. Części. Nic. Nie. Nie. O! Co? Dobra. Na razie to nie.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Nie, nic. Nietypowego.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Jest pan ranny?
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Czyli się przemoc.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
O, okej. Handel kwitnie?
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Okej. Zobaczymy.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
To wspaniała pięknie.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
O. Dobrze zrobiłem. Żegnam.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Będzie migrena, przeziębienie. Teraz to już. Dobra, znajdziemy to.
Hard to believe, but this district is a...
Fragment porządnego uchwytu. Tego mi brakuje. Fragment porządnego uchwytu.
Always been wretched. I'll let you go. Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Right then. Show me what you have.
A, nie mogę, nie ma.
They must be busy at the moment.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Masz jeszcze jakąś żyjącą rodzinę?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Dokąd go pan posłał?
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
O masz. Na kaznodziejską tole.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
O masz.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Słucham.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Jaki ma pan plan?
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Okej. Jak zamierzasz oczyścić to miasto?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
A gdzie stawiasz granicę?
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher, a small-time Torquemada, the Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Aha.
What do you mean?
All science.
Quite a...
Are you?
I am.
Okej, to.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
Skąd ta nienawiść do siostry Crane?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
Ale to...
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Wow. Ile was tu jest? W końcu 3, 4. Ile ja już powaliłem? O! Brawo. Chociaż tego.
Oh, Camellia, the silent.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
O, tu ostrożnie.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
To znaczy?
In what way exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
No, to dość intrygujący punkt widzenia.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Co pan robi tutaj tak późno?
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
Nie lękasz się epidemii?
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
Unika możliwości zarażenia się.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
No tak, lekarze zawsze. Twoje życie jest tu zagrożone.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Co ci pomoże, gdy będziesz w niebezpieczeństwie?
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
To niebezpieczna okolica.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
O. Bolesne. I tam.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
O Dariusie Petrescu.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Okay. O Dorothy Crane coś wie?
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
700 prawie. Dobra. Kwajka na derbiego teraz jeszcze tylko. Chętnie bym wydał te punkty.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby.
Oh!
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon.
Oh.
I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Whoa.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Okay. Nie boisz się wychodzić wieczorem?
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
Jest racjonalne wyjaśnienie.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Co to robisz po zachodzie słońca?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Czy publika jest zainteresowana tematem?
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Ryzykujesz życie, żeby ujawnić prawdę.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
Okej. To było osobiste, no?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Nigdy nie wychodzi? Nie ma krewnych?
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Nigdy nie wychodzi?
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
O! Mamy kryjówkę.
It's locked, all right.
Co jest? Już myślałem, że miał kryjówkę.
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match.
No to jest jakaś najbliższa. pamiętam jak tu się... A, dobra.
I cannot enter.
Aj. Dlaczego?
More and more of these bloody leeches every night.
Zła skrywka.
But the gods recruit more and more every year.
Ojej! Trafił mnie. Ajej! Chyba wrócimy do szpitala i tam się pożegnamy. Jedyne bezpieczne miejsce. Jak rozwiniemy postać. Gdzie 300 i 300, dobra, okej. Mocne ugryzienie. Okej, dobra, mamy. Okej, mamy. Dobra. Potwierdzimy to. Okej, dobra, już. Jesteśmy na 11 poziomie. Dobra. I to byłoby na tyle z tego odcineczka.